Hey everybody, Tim Burchett. Big beautiful bill passed, largest tax cuts in American history. They'll unleash our energy by expediting permit and eliminating wasteful green new energy regulations. Largest investment in border security. Eliminates waste, fraud, and abuse in Medicaid. Big deal. That's a huge deal. Puts a work requirement in there. And it's the largest mandatory spending cuts in history. $1.6 trillion.
All right, folks, welcome back to PrepperNow. Let's talk about the big, beautiful bill. So, let's start with some of the changes and things that are going on with this big bill that passed 215 to 214. I believe 2 abstentions, but a very narrow passage. So, for Medicaid, work requirements kick in at the end of 2026 rather than the start of 2029 as initially opposed. Financial incentives for states not to expand coverage to people who are still near the poverty line but have higher income than traditional enrollees. So it'd basically be more true to form to the poor. Bill would also stop coverage for gender-affirming care for adults, not just minors. And that was the initial proposal, but it basically just takes all that out. SALT, which stands for state and local tax. It would cap on the state and local tax deduction and would quadruple $40,000 from $10,000, but be phased out for taxpayers who make more than $500,000. So $40,000 deduction cap, $500,000 income limit would increase by 1% through 2033. So that cap is up from 30,000 limit GOP leaders initially proposed. So again, kind of focusing more on the less income than the more, but another little tax, thing or other. Speaking of which, the revised bill would then weaken the clean electricity investment and production tax. And these are credits. So clean energy developers who have been using these are now, they're not going to be able to be used. Projects would need to commence construction within 60 days of the bill's enactment. So that means they're starting to qualify for the tax credits and be placed in service by the end of 2028. So you can't just push these off. Republicans did soften rollbacks of credits for advanced nuclear reactors. So nuclear reactors, good. Solar, reusable, not good. So it narrowly passed on May 22nd, 215 to 214. It was challenged the whole way. Senate has a slim majority of 53 to 47 in the Senate. And it tested the party's unity, of course. And it bypassed the filibuster, and it allows an approval of a simple majority. They don't need a super majority. It gave the bill a strong chance of passing, which it did. And here we are. So they only need 50 votes from the Senate to get this thing through. It is a sweeping package. It extends the 2017 tax cuts. It introduces new tax exemptions for tips and overtime. It pushes border security, defense spending, and it includes cuts to Medicaid, SNAP, green energy, and it has significant support from the Republican leadership and other groups like Americans for Prosperity and the National Federation of Independent Business, because they're calling it pro-growth, and they like the security measures on the South. So Trump, of course, called this the big, beautiful bill. He visited the Capitol. He was posting on his different social media sites, and it pushed the thing over. So what does this mean? It means tax credits, but it also means a much bigger deficit in the short term. So, we are definitely having problems with our you know, our deficits and debt and everything. So the big, beautiful bill is going to push deficit spending. And there's big Medicaid changes, of course. So it adds more than $3 trillion to the deficit over the next 10 years. And if it becomes law, which it will, 7 million people will lose Medicaid coverage. And the bill includes temporary tax breaks for tipped and overtime, and includes a $140 billion, budget for taking out the new neighbors and enforcing the South. So what I don't like is the $3 trillion over 10 years. We will be pushing $50 trillion at our current trajectory if we keep it up. So we need to keep finding ways to cut. We should be doing that the whole time. But I do like some other things. I like the tips and the overtime thing. I like the security thing. And I think it's, going to help bolster some, hopefully, financial push, and we'll get things going. But we'll see. Again, I don't like the deficit. But that is basically what the bill looks like. And so just want to kind of lay it out for you. All right. All right, friends. If you like what we're doing here, hit the buttons and stuff. God bless you all. Links in the description. Consider becoming a member like other people are doing. And we will see you on the next one.